Yep.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yay! Hi.
Okay, cool. Sorry about
It
that.
was like a Verizon commercial.
Let's see. And then you want to make sure that it's also configured for that. Okay, so this is here. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you. Perfect. Okay. Now it works. Let me just make sure your levels are okay. Can you tell me your name and where you're from?
I'm Tawny Cowan, and I'm in Seattle, Washington.
Okay. Thank you. I was just checking the levels of the mic here.
No worries.
Well, Tawny, thank you so much. So your name is Twani?
Tawny.
Tawny.
Yep.
Oh, it's because I have your Twitter name here. So it's Tawny.
Tawny. Yeah, it's like Shawnee Indians, but you drop the SH and you put a T, so it's Tawny.
Okay. Could you spell it for me?
Tawnee. And my last name is Cowan. Cowan.
Tawny Cowan.
Yep.
Perfect. And you are from?
Seattle, Washington.
Seattle. Okay. Tawny, Tawny, thank you so much for having the time to speak with me. Um, as I said on our Twitter messages, I'm reaching out to people who publicly uh, wrote or videoed or anything.
Right.
Just publicly said that they voted for Trump and they were happy with the results of the elections.
Right.
And I just wanted to know from you, 1 year after the election, what is your feeling?
Well, I'm still happy that I voted for President Trump. Um, I did a lot of research because I used to vote um, more about where my community stood and how we supported and who we supported. Um, there's a lot of corruption in the Democratic Party, so I cannot, even on a local level at all, see myself voting for any Democrat right now at all. Um, and the thing that was appealing about Trump, many things, but one of the things that was appealing about Trump is he's not a lifelong public servant. He's a lifelong citizen, and so the laws that are in place affect everybody. And everybody says, well, he's the top 1%. Well, okay, but still, the laws affect everybody. So if they're not going to clean up the laws that are benefiting only a few, then because lobbyists, our healthcare is run by the insurance lobby and the pharmaceutical lobby. We didn't get health care, and I'm not sure that we would necessarily get it under a Republican led anything either, but I know that what we got wasn't what we needed. I'm disabled. It matters to me that we actually have real health care reform. And I don't think anybody's bringing anything to the table on either side that will do that. So that became a no-brainer for me that I just wanted what's in place taken away, and I want us to start over from scratch. Um, I don't think we're there, and I really don't like that. I do think that if we have the rewriting of the tax code, that more people will be working. If more people work, then there's a chance I can get off disability because then they will be paying for photographers. And I offer a specialized type of photography that people can't afford right now. It's putting little girls or anybody in wings and taking pictures, and no one can afford that right now. And I'd like a chance to be employable. So I have a better chance with Donald Trump. I'm for the trickle down economics. I'm not for the redistribution because it hasn't worked. I'm in Seattle right now. Our homeless population grows by the hundreds every day. But we're supposed to be one of the most successful cities there is. Our mayor just had to step out because of hidden child sexual assault allegations. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that concern me, and I don't see anyone from the Democratic Party offering any real solutions on any of it. And so I can't vote.
So you, before Trump, would you, in the past years, did you vote for Democrats
Yeah,
or?
yeah, yep. On a local level, I did. Yes, I did. Most of the time, when I voted for president, I voted for people like Nader and stuff like that. I voted outside the box. I didn't vote for either party. Um, but I before I considered myself an independent, and then on a local level, the Democratic Party. You know, I've spent a lot of time down in Olympia talking to my legislators about the medical marijuana laws and how we need some laws that actually protect the patients, you know, and stuff. So I know how things work down there, and I love Senator Colwell's. You know, she's one of my favorites, and she's a Democrat. But I cannot vote in the Democratic Party at all until they honestly tell the truth about the corruption within their party and then clean it out. Because to me, integrity is where it's at. And the one thing everybody says, well, Donald Trump lies. Well, I think Donald Trump's a lot of times misinformed, but I don't think he purposely goes out there and tells flabbergasted lies to hurt someone. I just don't see that. So I would rather take Trump's version that hasn't played in the corruption that's in our government than I would vote in any of the current politicians that aren't willing to get the corruption out in their own ranks on either side.
Are you? So Trump has been in power for uh, 10 months now.
Yep. I love what he's doing for our veterans.
Hmm?
I love what he's doing for our veterans. He's given them, you know, he signed some bills and he signed some things that were somewhat stalled in the legislature before, like the HOPE Act, that helps our veterans go out and get better care out in the private sector instead of just relying on the VA. And that's really, really important. There's a lot of veterans out there that are in rural areas that need to be able to have access to care, that can't have access to care. And now, thanks to some of the things that President Trump has signed, they have access to care. You know, I really like that he pulled out of TPP. I like that we're not in the Paris Climate Agreement. Both of those were big money losing things for America and economics, and it wasn't good. I'm not for a globalist agenda. So I really like that he's being strong with our political allies and with our political rivals out there in the world. And I'm not worried about him in Russia because to me there are worse things in the world than not getting along with the other superpower in the world. So I'd like for us to not fight with Russia every time we're turning around. We're already fighting with other people. We don't need yet another person that we're fighting with. So I kind of like his take on things. On everybody do their sovereign thing, you know. So I'm really happy with the way he's presented himself on the public stage and the rest of the world, and I'm supportive of President Trump. I'm not supportive of Republicans or Democrats.
So you talked about healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
That this is something important to you, and Trump wasn't able to pass a healthcare reform.
Congress wasn't able to pass a healthcare reform, and I mean, from what I know about President Trump, I honestly don't think that they could have gotten anything to him unless it had bipartisan work on it. If you notice in his tweets, he told the Democrats a few times, get me a health care fix on my desk. Let me see your ideas. And it's only going to work in this country if both parties come to the table and play. And that's what he's done. When the Republicans aren't doing something, he'll go to the Democrats. What do you guys got? I want something, you know, and they both need to go to the table. I don't think Trump would have signed something on health care without bipartisan input because he had to know. I mean, the people that he's been donating money to for years at St. Jude's, I know. I'm a St. Jude's kid, you know. He didn't do that just to see it squandered away and kids not taken care of. That's not President Trump. I don't care what the media wants to pay him out to be. That's not who he is. You got to look at his actions, you know? And so, I don't know. I do expect him to mess up. I don't expect him to be perfect. I don't like everything he says. Sometimes I think he's just too gruff. But I do think that his heart and his intent is about helping get America back on track.
What is there one thing, or what was like the best thing that he has done in presidency until now? What was the thing that you liked the most, or that you were more like, yeah, this is why I voted him for?
Well, there's a few things. I was really impressed with him going down to Houston. And I was really impressed because I'm up in Seattle now, but I was raised in South Texas, in San Antonio. My grandma lived in New Orleans. She's buried there, you know. And for him to go and to see videos and pictures of him feeding the kids, and everybody makes fun of him throwing the paper towels in the back, but coming from my point of view, the people in the back of the room never get anything. When you're waiting in line to get something, the ones in the back of the room, they don't get the supplies they need. And so I thought him throwing the paper towels in the back of the room was him making sure the people in the back got something. And so my interpretation when I saw that, I was proud. I was like, see, he's making sure nobody is left out, including those in the back, And so my interpretation of seeing things is just like totally polar opposite than a lot of people,
And is there anything that he's done that you didn't like, that you weren't very proud of?
I don't know. I guess for me, I don't like that he wasn't able to get the people that he wanted in when he wanted them in for nominations. And so because his first picks weren't able to get nominated in, or for whatever reason, the way politics are played, in some respects we have a dysfunctioning several branches of government. Our Department of Justice is not functioning at all, in my opinion, not to what it needs to be. I don't think Sessions was the right person, and I have great respect for Sessions, but I don't think he's the right person. So I think, to me, that would be a big disappointment, would be Sessions, his appointment of Sessions, But I also feel like, no disrespect to Sessions, I just don't feel like he was the right person. If he's had to recuse himself from things from the get-go, I don't think he's the right person to be in the position he's in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in the video that you posted on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
you said that you were so happy for Trump's election, and you said that we're not having a World War III, and Americans are going to be back to work.
Yep. So.
Do you still think that? Are you?
Oh yeah. I already know some of my friends have jobs now, full-time jobs. One up in Minnesota is going to go and learn to work at the factory. So, yeah, people are going back to work. World War III, I think a lot of that depends on other people's choices. I hope we don't go to war with Russia. I hope. But it seems like that the left's narrative just wants us to go after Russia. And, that WikiLeaks released something, the CIA vault. And in the CIA vault, it shows that There's software that was written by the CIA and the FBI to use to spy on people and to make it look like it was somebody else that did it, another country, another entity. So, in reading those documents, and they're verifiably true, it makes me wonder, can we trust what the FBI and the CIA say in terms of what Russia is actually responsible for and what it's not? I mean, Russia didn't influence my vote at all. You know what I mean? So, um, and the ads that I saw Facebook come out with recently, I don't even know that anybody had even seen those ads. So I just don't know that that's to be true. I have a lot of problems with trust with my government. So
Could you describe to me November 9th, 2016?
the day I could sleep again, yeah. Um, it's no secret that one of the reasons I didn't want Hillary Clinton in there is because of her husband and her husband's actions and her actions towards her husband's victims. Um, and, you know, none of what's coming out about Hollywood and all that stuff surprises me because it happens everywhere and it doesn't matter if you're famous or not. And the cover ups that people have gone to, the links that they've gone to. So I don't feel like my president has assaulted anybody. When he says he hasn't, I believe him. When he says he has had that locker room talk, and he did it several times around several guys being raised up in the military, I've heard that talk before. I believe the president. I don't believe that every guy out there is going to be an abuser. It's taken me a long time to come to that. But I do believe that people falsely accuse. And in reading all the DNC emails and Podesta emails, where they even outlined in one of them that they were going to line women up to lie and pay the defamation suit after the election, I read that with my own eyes. I mean, come on. So I just I feel like the Wright family, you know, is up on Capitol Hill. You know, I like that the Pences are there, and I didn't know much about the Pences, but I like them. I like that the president's there. I like that his grandkids are there. I like that his kids are there. I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about all that other stuff. I don't think he's going to do us wrong.
Why you couldn't sleep before?
Um, the more we do the redistribution of wealth, the more than 1% gets in control. The politicians that are career politicians and yet filthy rich take control. The less freedoms we have, the less access to be able to make our own way we have. So I couldn't take them solidifying the ACA. I want the ACA to go. I have a better chance now of saving my own life than I ever had Hillary Clinton been president at all. You know, the more refugees we bring in and give the homes to, and we make Americans homeless, I got it going on in my city, the worse we are. And so there's a lot of fear about what it would mean and what the world would look like if Hillary Clinton won. You know, she says she's for women and children, and yet she's not. None of her policies have ever helped us, ever. Her husband is, partly responsible for the mass incarceration and disparity between the upper and the middle and below. The reason Chicago has over 600 deaths this year is from Democratic policies. I mean, it's going that way. The more the more we let that party have control, the less we have control over our own personal things. I don't care what anybody else does. I'm responsible for me. And collectively I'm responsible to bring something to society that helps better it. And that's everybody's job in society. And with Democrats, I didn't get that choice. I'm put in a box. I'm disabled. I'm going to be disabled. I'm not going to be able to get off disability, and I'm going to be in this little bitty compartment for the rest of my life under the Democratic rule. And I couldn't do that anymore. That scared me. Totally scared me. So
would you say that having Trump as president, what is the feeling that you have now?
hope,
How to describe?
hope, hope, a whole lot of hope. We're pretty challenged, but I have hope. You know, if there's a stream that I can get in to be part of the rat race of life, now's my chance. Because they don't want everybody on a social program. They want everybody out there working. And I want to work. So I have hope. So I have a broken spine because a woman ran a stop sign and plowed my car over 3 lanes. I didn't have a choice about it. I don't want to be taken out of the game, but I have a broken spine. So now I have an added challenge, but I don't want to be taken away from work. And up until my accident happened in 2004, up until 2011, I survived without having to go on disability. And I was able to get out there and do the photography. I was able to get gallery openings. I was able to get out and compete just a little bit. But the economy and everything, and up here, because of the ACA and because of the 15-hour minimum wage, now they only work people part-time. And part-time is 20 hours a week. And so people here have to work at several different companies, have 2 and 3 jobs just to be able to pay their rent. They're not buying photographers. They're trying to pay their electric bill. So that's kind of my reality. And with Trump and them, I have hope. Deregulate, the employers start hiring full-time employees. A lot of people here pay for their own insurance anyway, so it wouldn't be any different. It'd just be nice to be able to have things back the way they were.
Tani, thank you so much for having the time to speak with me and for sharing your ideas and your thoughts. Is there anything that you would like to add? Anything that maybe I haven't asked?
I guess I'm not one of those people that doesn't expect someone to make mistakes. I expect Trump, who's not a politician, to make mistakes becoming a politician. I expect those who are politicians to sometimes screw up. We're all human. I just expect there to be a level of integrity. And it'd really be nice if the Democrats would start defining what integrity is for them and getting on that line. Because some of the social ideas that they have will work, but they got to get the corruption out. They got to get the corruption out. All the parties do. I don't usually vote Republican, just so you know. I voted for Donald Trump. I usually vote independent down the line. So.
Okay. Oh, Tony, thank you so much. Um, is it okay if I use parts of this interview and the video that you posted on Twitter last year as part of my video
Yes.
at the story?
Can you let me have access to it so I can see this story?
Yeah, sure. I'm
Okay.
gonna send it to you when it's published, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Oh,
Well, good job.
it.